Hello everybody, and welcome into another video. I'm FranklinTurtz, and I'm your internet turtle. Apologies if my voice sounds a little off a little bit. I've been trying to get over a bug, little illness for the past week, and slowly but surely I am getting there. I haven't really been able to stream, and it's been kind of a bummer, but it's only because I just don't feel great. And I don't want to hurt my voice too much by trying to strain it on stream, and then, coughing the entire time and whatnot. It'd be gross. I don't want you guys to see that. But if you do hear the odd cough here and there, that's the reason why, as well as if my voice sounds a little strange at all. But regardless of that, I wanted to jump in. I wanted to give a quick little overview for the new season that's coming out, Y7S4 Season 4 Treason.
It's treason, then.
I'm excited. I'm very pumped for the hero skin. I'm excited for some of the different changes that they're bringing into the game. Overall, seems like a pretty good patch. So we're going to get right into it here. The first thing they showcased is the white bone. Oh, hold on. Sorry, it's the white bonus spirit. I don't know what the bonus is, but maybe it's just a +1 to your drip. Who knows? But they showed this off. They basically said that the polish patch for this is going to be pushed through. So we are going to be able to officially have this as armor for the Zhanhu. I'm excited for this armor. I did get it. I did grind for it. It looks really nice, and I'm glad they're making it an official part of their armor set. Next up, we have the newest hero skin. It's going to be for Highlander, and their name is Oathbreaker Maddox. This hero skin is sick. I like it a lot. I am a Highlander main, so I am slightly biased, but that's how I was with Shaolin, because I'm also a Shaolin main. Both of them are rep 70 on my account. I love them both a ton for different reasons. This one I especially love because not only does it have the fur pelt and the ferocity, animalistic nature of a saber-toothed tiger, but it also has the iron and the different actual armored elements, I guess we could say, and it all kind of blends together seamlessly. The whole idea behind him, what they were talking about, is he's out for survival, he's out for himself, and so this was how he was going to be able to survive in the wild, is having the fur pelt on for warmth, but also having armor underneath for protection from other warriors, other things that might harm him. It also reminds me a lot of the armor that some of these Stormcloaks wear. I think it's the captain armor, official armor, something to that effect. But it looks strikingly similar to it, and as a huge fan of Skyrim, that's just another reason for me to get it for sure. So it's a really neat concept. It, again, blends together absolutely brilliantly, and I cannot wait to get this as soon as it drops. Literally the second it drops, I will be throwing all of my steel at it, and I will be playing a lot more Highlander lately, that's for sure. Of course, with every new season that comes to For Honor, there's always the Battle Pass and the Season Pass goodies. The two specific standouts that I really enjoy are the Rocking Horse, the Saddle Up signature. Look at Griffin just having a grand old time on there. Not a care in the world. And the Blood Eagle execution. Big old bloody mess. I can't do an eagle noise in my condition. And now we got some patch notes. The first one is dodge bash changes. Long story short, they are basically making it so that you can't dodge on one input and be able to dodge a bash and other various things and be able to just respond with impunity. It made the person that was doing the bash very unsafe at times, and they did explain that this was kind of not really intended for them, but they said they're human. I understand it. I get it. You make mistakes. And now they're going back and they're trying to fix things. Conqueror, Jormungandr, and Zhanhu specifically, they are going to be increasing their front dodge recovery, or lowering their front dodge recovery by 100 milliseconds as well. This also is just to help with people that dodge their bashes a bunch and stuff like that, that they won't be able to dodge as easily, or they won't be able to respond as easily. Some dodge bash nerfs as well. Medjay and Tiandi are both getting nerfed a bit. They just basically were too strong, way too oppressive. They acknowledge this. Now they're going to be tuning back their forward dodge bashes to make them a little less oppressive. They're still probably going to be super good, but it's not going to be always their turn as much as it used to be. And finally, for a character-specific change with Hitokiri, they're basically buffing the chain heavies. They're not going to be getting more hyper armor quickly at 100 milliseconds instead of 300. They acknowledge that Hitokiri sometimes just gets bashed and stuff out of their chain heavies a little too much. So apparently this is what they're going to go with. I don't know if I like this or not. I understand that this character is all about throwing heavies and execution people, literally an executor, but I don't. We'll see. Also, the Meikai Rift, I think that's her finisher light. That's no longer going to have hyper armor. I mean, it was already a move that I didn't see a lot of Hitokiri's using, so now they're just going to use it even less. Doesn't really change much of anything, to be fair. And now we move on to everyone's favorite testing ground changes. This time around, there's going to be 3 different characters all at the same time: Peacekeeper, Meiji, and Highlander. Highlander getting his second attempt at this. First up, we got Peacekeeper. So Peacekeeper's getting 3 different things that we're going to be toying around with. The first thing is that she's going to be able to do a forward dodge bash. It's slower, but it does guarantee a bleed, a stab, whatever you want to call it. The second thing is that they reverted her change that they gave her to whenever she deflects. Instead of doing it on the heavy input, it's going to go back to the way it was where you're doing it on the light input. And finally, they just made it a bit more comfortable, a bit more easy to get all 3 bleed stabs when you go and guard break somebody. It's not going to be as hard necessarily for certain people to try to time it. They kind of just mash the button and get it anyway. So that's nice. Kidney stealing mains rejoice.
My goodness! My goodness! My goodness!
The bash is going to be pretty interesting, not necessarily in 1v1s. I don't see any potential feigning out of it or anything like that. They did acknowledge it's basically just for 4v4s to allow her to get her bleed out more effectively. So they are really doubling down on her bleed mechanic to get those unblockables going and whatnot. I don't know, these all seem like pretty decent changes. I'm excited to test them out. PK is not somebody I play a lot, but I do have some good respect for those PK mains out there. Next up, we got Meiji. Meiji here is also getting 3 different things that they're going to be kind of toying around with. The first thing is they wanted to increase his flow, and so to do that, they have decided to make it so that when you're doing a staff move, like a staff heavy for instance, as you see here, you can go right into a zone, and by using that zone, it's a special animation that allows you to get into your axe form. This also inadvertently allows you to turn into a dust devil. The next thing they're doing is they're getting rid of hyper armor on all of his chain lights, including his finisher light. And the final thing that they're doing is they're making the finisher light in axe form undodgeable. These are some interesting changes. Typically with Meiji, I enjoy his flow personally. I just like how you're able to transition back and forth between the stances, at least the way that I do it. But I understand how it can be a bit clunky at times for people. So it'll be fun to toy around with this new animation, see what it may work for him, if it works for him and makes him flow a little bit better. We'll see. As for the hyper armor, yeah, I mean, he was just a hyper armor machine. He doesn't really need all of that hyper armor, and so I am glad that they're making him a little more vulnerable. He's been kind of sitting at the tippy top for far too long, and so it is nice to see that they're knocking him down a peg. They're still going to be good for like cleavage and whatnot when you're trying to fight multiple people, but it won't be as easy to do. It won't be as brainless to do to just hit heavy, light, heavy, that kind of stuff. And then finally for that undodgeable light at the end, funny enough, I actually, when he first came out, when I saw that was a move that he had, I said it in stream too. I remember it very vividly. I was like, this should probably be undodgeable or something, because as it stands, it didn't really serve any sort of purpose. I never really saw myself using it. I think maybe 1 out of 100 times I swung, I would use the finisher light, and that was mainly just a meme or if I didn't have enough stamina for a heavy or something, I don't know. Overall, interesting changes. We'll see what happens with them. And now, for the man of the hour, the Titan of Thigh, the Sultan of, big swords, Highlander. For Highlander, they're allowing you to do the defensive side dodge heavy, right out of your offensive stance. They reverted the speed increase for the caber toss. And finally, they allow you to, after you go into offensive stance, you're able to dodge a lot quicker than you normally would be able to. Doing the side dodge heavy off of the offensive stance may seem a little weird, but honestly, it's just eliminating some extra steps to what people normally do. I know I myself will at least attempt, because it does work sometimes, to go into the offensive stance and then quickly feint out of it into defensive stance side heavy. And that allows you to dodge certain things that people might throw at you. It all depends on kind of timing and when they decide to throw their move. But it's nice that it's going to be like it's an easier thing to use in testing grounds here. Should make him a little bit more safe when he's in offensive stance. Thank God they are nerfing the speed. They are taking the speed back that they gave him for his caber toss. I love his caber toss. I acknowledge that, you know, it's not the best move in the world. A lot of things do beat it out, but it was way too fast in that previous testing grounds. It basically was a heat-seeking caber toss at that point. And then for being able to dodge a little bit quicker once you enter offensive guard or offensive stance, that's totally fine. Again, it's kind of like the first one where it just gives him more options when he goes into offensive stance to not be lighted, or like if someone's right on top of you, a lot of times they're going to try to bash or guard break or light you to stop you from doing any sort of movement at all. And so this way, this kind of prevents that and kind of makes it a little bit safer for you to go into that stance and start mixing up your opponent that way. I love these changes. I really want to test these changes out ASAP. Hopefully it'll make him not only healthier to use and to play as, but also healthier to go against as well. Thank you guys so very much for watching and for tolerating my horrible sounding voice. I really hope that I do get better soon, because I do want to get back to streaming ASAP, so I can hang out with all you guys live. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that subscribe button, tickle that like, leave that comment, and share it with a buddy. Until next time, stay turtly, stay awesome, and we will see you on the next one. Bye guys.